Transmissions detected.
Kill them all.
Hello, my friends. This is from the Book of Kolbrin, or some people call it the Kolbrin Bible. This is part 1, the salutation or prologue to the Bronze Book. Greetings, unborn ones, now asleep in the dark womb of the future. Greetings from we who were once as you are now, and like whom you will be one day be. We too hoped and feared, doubted and believed. Were you choosing a gift from the past to the future, what would it be? The golden treasures hoarded by kings, the bright jewels beloved by queens? Is worldly wealth still so important to you? If that were be your choice above all else, we are disappointed, for our labors have been in vain. Would you prefer the secret of life of eternal youth? Have you altered so little from those who live and laugh today, and with no thought turn towards the future? This thing which seems so desirable, were it yours, would you value it? Would it never pall? Would you still be grateful for it after 1,000 years have passed? And the answer would be yes, if this life were all, the beginning and end, complete in itself. But might this life be no more than a prelude, an introduction to something infinitely greater? Is the riddle still unsolved, the secret of the ages still well kept, known only by a few, even when these words are read? How many generations have passed without progress? Does mankind still lie passive like driftwood upon the sea of spiritual apathy, driven back and forth by changeable winds and conflicting currents, making no headway? Could we leave you the knowledge enabling you to live a life without toil, surrounded by every luxury and pleasure, a magic stone granting every desire, an all-healing potion, the ability to fly or know all things on earth? Would any of these satisfy the desires that your heart and fulfill your dreams? We who lie so far back along the road trust you have progressed beyond such petty aspirations. It is beyond our power to give such gifts, and were they ours to bestow, we would withhold them, for unless a gift confers a benefit, it were better not given. With the wisdom of your generation, tell us, which of the things mentioned would really benefit you or even prove less bad than good? Or do you still remain unaware of your true nature and needs? Who you are, how you speak and dress, are you even like us in form? We cannot know or imagine. This alone we know is truth. You are brother beings of ours and travel the road we once trod. We share one destiny and have the same true goal, though perhaps no more know in your day what these are than do in ours. Like to us, life comes to you unbidden. It is fraught with problems and difficulties. It alternates between light and shade, and like us, you wonder what awaits in the end. You too are victims of earth's delusions. You too find truth and perfection beyond your grasp, and you, too, aspire to beauty and goodness. These things we know about you. These things must be, or you would not exist. Your needs are no different from ours, but do you not know with certainty what they are? Your life serves the same purpose. You are part of the same pattern. You are ruled by the same impulses and urges, but do you know why and to what end? We know you are without certainty and assurance about what lies beyond the veil of death, for these cannot be given while man remains no more than man, and doubtless like us, you remain suspended between doubt and belief. Our unborn friends, whatever your circumstances of life, you are the children of the past and heirs of those who have lived and died. We trust you have no cause to reproach those who once held stewardship over your estate. But whatever you think of the heritage, you cannot put it aside, any more than you can refuse the obligations of life. Maybe it brings you to happiness and security, the peace and plenty we never knew. If so, this will remain unread. For to you it would be a wilderness of words serving no purpose. If you have so much, if you have progressed so far, nothing we could give would be of benefit. To the traveler, information about the road behind is worthless. If this is your state, we hail you. We are proud of you, our worthy children of light. conceived in the long dark years wherein we labored and plowed our own short furrow. You have done well, and greatest joy would be to stand beside you as you exultingly reach out for the crowning glory of Godhood. But you may be no more enlightened than we, in which case, accept our offering as a token of our regret, our desire to make amends on behalf of those who preceded you. For if you remain lost in spiritual darkness, the blame is theirs and not yours. This we give you, the hidden books containing the accumulated harvest and wisdom of truth, garnered over the generations, the bread and oil which sustained us and never diminished. May they serve you in your day as well as they served us. Above all, may you be sufficiently enlightened to receive them. For today we are persecuted because of our books, and most who have treasured and guarded them are now dead. We can only consign these books to the ground and destiny, trusting they will be called forth at the proper time and in a receptive generation. These books which we hand into the keeping of time were written under the authority of revelation and inspiration. Containing truth, their message cannot be attacked by time, for truth is an eternal youth. We make no claim to exact and accurate statements beyond the possibility of error and misinterpretation, for words are frail messengers. They are fallible things, unable to transmit accurately from mind to mind. Also, we cannot tell how they who resurrect the books will deal with the contents. They are written in letters known to the learned, but learning changes with the generations. These books are the glorious embodiment of eternal truth, but the words and expressions are unworthy garments, so misconception and misunderstanding are not possible. Words are servants of the fallible mortal sphere, and when called upon to serve a realm of greater things, prove inadequate. Therefore be not like some petty-minded ones of our generation who say, the letters are misplaced and the words ill-used. They examine each blade of grass diligently, but fail to discover the purpose of the meadow. Such men lack insight, and seeing only the bare letters say, these tell me all, there is nothing more. We have a saying, do not judge a place of instruction by its bricks. Wisdom being eternal, doubtless this will apply no less in your generation too. So unborn, unknowable ones, we humbly tender this, the gift of the past which we could not pass on otherwise. If you have advanced so far along the road towards greatness, it will have no value. But if you still dally or have wandered away, lost in the elusive mists or worldliness, and none answers your cries, then take this hand extending out of the past. It will guide you faithfully and well. Down through the generations men have been persecuted, have suffered and died so that truth and goodness might prevail. Remember them. If the world is good, then your peace and pleasures have been brought by their sacrifices. If it is not, then you must not quibble over the cost of yourselves in making it good. Surely no torments and terrors in your days could exceed those from the past. Farewell, unborn ones. With these few words we have reached from the day of the present into the night of the future. We have planted the seed. Will it grow or rot in the ground? What crop will it produce? We cannot know. Let fate deal with it as it will. We have gathered the seed, flailed and winnowed it, and kept it with every care. We have planted it well. We can do no more. May life deal better with you than with us. May you never be denied the comforting hand of hope. Farewell. Chapter 1. Creation. Extracted from the great book of the Sons of Fire. Mortal knowledge is circumscribed by mortal ignorance, and mortal comprehension is circumscribed by spiritual reality. It is unwise for mortal man to attempt the understanding of that which is beyond his conception, for there lies the road to disbelief and madness. Yet man is man, and ever fated to reach out beyond himself, striving to attain the things which always elude his grasp. So in his frustration he replaces the dimly seen incomprehensible things within his understanding. If these but poorly reflect reality, then it is not the reflection of reality, distorted though it may be, of greater value than no reflection at all. There are no true beginnings on earth, for here all is effect, the ultimate cause being elsewhere. For who among men can say which came first, the seed or the plant? Yet in truth it is neither, For something neither seed nor plant preceded both, and that thing was also preceded by something else. Always there are ancestors back to the beginning, and back beyond to there is only God. This then is how things were told in the great book of the sons of fire. Before the beginning there was only one consciousness, that of the Eternal One whose nature cannot be expressed in words. It was the one soul spirit, the self-generator, which cannot diminish, the unknown, unknowable one, brooding solitary and profound, pregnant silence. The name which is uttered cannot be that of this great being who, remaining nameless, is the beginning and the end, beyond time, beyond the reach of mortals, and we in our simplicity call it God. He who preceded all existed alone in his strange abode of uncreated light, which remains ever unextinguishable, and no understandable eye can ever behold it. The pulsating draughts of the eternal light in his keeping were not yet loosed. He knew himself alone. He was uncontrasted, unable to manifest in nothingness, for all within his being was unexpressed potential. The great circles of eternity were yet to be spun out, to be thrown forth as endless ages of existence and substance. They were to begin with God and return to Him, completed in infinite variety and expression. Earth was not yet in existence. There were no winds with the sky above them. High mountains were not raised, nor was the great river in its place. All was formless, without movement, calm, silent, void, and dark. No name had been named, and no destinies foreshadowed. Eternal rest is intolerable, and unmanifested potential is frustration. Into the solitude of timelessness can divide loneliness, and from this arose the desire to create, that he might know and express himself, and this generated the love of God. He took thought and brought into being within himself the universal womb of creation, containing the everlasting essence of slumbering spirit. The essence was quickened by a ripple from the mind of God, and a creative thought was projected. This generated power which produced light, and this formed a substance like unto a mist of invisible dust. It divided into two forms of energy through being impregnated with the Spirit of God and quickening the chaos of the void within the universal womb. It became spun out into whirlpools of substance. From this activity, as sparks from a fire, came an infinite variety of spirit minds, each having creative powers within itself. The activating word was spoken, it echoes, vibrates still, and there was a stirring movement which caused instability. A command was given, and this became the everlasting law. Henceforth activity was controlled in harmonious rhythm, and the initial inertia was overcome. The law divided the material and chaos from God, and then established the boundaries of eternal spheres. Time no longer slept in the bosom of God, for now there was a change where before all had been unchanging, and change is time. Now within the universal womb was heat, substance, and life, and encompassing it was the word which is the law. The command was given, let the smallest of things from the greatest, that which lives, but a flash from everlastingness. Thus the universe came into being as a condensation of God's thought, and as it did so obscured him from all enclosed within his solidifying creation. Henceforth God was hidden, for he has always remained dimly reflected in his creation. He became veiled from all that came forth from him. Creation does not explain itself. Under the law it cannot do so. Its secrets have to be unraveled by the created. All things are by nature finite. They have a beginning, a middle, and an end. An unaccomplishable purpose would be eternal frustration, and therefore, the universe being created purposefully, it must have an objective. If it ended without anything else following, then the God existing must slumber indifferent to his activities. But he has made it a living work of greatness, operating under the changeless law. The creating word had been spoken. Now there was another command, and the power going forth smote the sun, so its face was lit, and it shone with a great radiance, pouring warmth and light upon its sister earth. Henceforth she would live with the protection of her brother's household, rejoicing in his benevolence and strength. The waters upon the bosom of the earth were gathered together, and dry land appeared. When the covering of water was rolled back, the body of earth was unstable, damp, and yielding. The face of the sun shone down kindly upon his sister, and the dry land of her body became very hard. Humidity and dampness were taken away. He gave her a garment of fleece and a veil of fine linen, that she might clothe her body with modesty. From the great womb had sprung the spirit of life, and it was rampant in the heavens. It gazed upon the earth and saw her fairness, and was filled with desire, and came out of the heavenly spaces to possess her. It came not peacefully as a lover, but tempestuously as a ravager. Its breath howled along her corridors and raged among her mountain tops, but it did not discover the dwelling place of her spirit. She had withdrawn as a woman withdraws before force, but for modesty must not be outraged in submission. Yet she desired its embrace, for among all the radiant company she was honored. The sun saw her perplexity, and he wrestled with the spirit of life and overcame it. When it was subdued and the primal struggle had ceased, it was delivered by the sun to its sister. It was chastened and quietened, and silence brooded over earth's waters, and she was stirred in response. Mud eggs of life potential were formed in swamps, at the meeting places of land and two waters. The sun gave quickening heat, and life crawled forth upon the bosoms of the earth. The land dust brought forth the male, and the dark water missed the female, and they united and multiplied. The first brought forth the second, and the two produced the third. Earth was no longer virgin, and the spirit of life grew old and departed. Earth was left garbed in the matron's mantle green. Herbage covered the face of the earth. The waters brought forth fishes and creatures which move about and twist themselves and wriggle in the waters. The serpents and the beasts of terrible aspect which were of yore, and reptiles which creep and crawl. There were tall walking things, and dragons in hideous form, clothed with terror, whose great bones may still be seen. Then came forth from the womb of the earth all beasts of the field and the forest, and all creatures of the creation having blood in their bodies, and it was complete. Beasts roamed the dry land, and fishes swam in the seas. There were birds in the skies, and worms within the soil. There were great land masses and high mountains, wide barren places having waters. Fertile greenness covered the land, and abundant life swarmed in the seas, for now earth throbbed with the energy of life. Metals lay hidden in her rocks, and precious stones within the soil. Gold and silver were scattered and secreted. There was copper for tools and forest for timber. There were swamps of reeds and stone for every purpose. Everything was prepared, everything was ready, and now earth awaited the coming of man.
Sorry.